The smell of rotting flesh was so strong that even the toughest guards threw up right there in the royal chapel. Dogs snuck in during the night and licked up the gross fluids leaking from King Henry VIII coffin. This wasn't just any king, this was England's most powerful ruler, the man who married 6 wives and changed the whole country's religion. But his end was so horrible, so messy, that his own people hid the truth for 450 years. In the next few minutes, you'll hear the shocking medical facts that show how Henry went from a strong, handsome prince to a 400-pound monster. These facts come from secret doctor notes and checks on his bones that experts just looked at recently. But let's go back and see step by step how this mighty king turned into a broken, stinking wreck. What you're about to learn will flip everything you thought you knew about the Tudor family upside down. The guy who killed 2 of his wives and shook up a whole nation died in a way so gross and sad that his government buried the real story deep. Now, hidden doctor records have come out, and it all starts with a bad fall during a horse game that ate him up from inside. Hey, quick ask, if this stuff is new to you and blowing your mind, smash that like button. It helps others find this secret history too. I've got 3 big shocks coming up that will make you see the Tudor kings in a whole new light. Let's set the scene, January 24, 1536, at Greenwich Palace. Henry VIII is 44 years old, still pretty fit for a king. He's riding a huge warhorse down the field in a jousting match. The crowd is quiet, holding their breath. The sun shines on his fancy armor, each piece costs more than a normal worker makes in their whole life. The ground shakes as the horses run fast toward each other. It's like 2 big trucks smashing head-on. But things go wrong fast. The horses crash, and Henry, wearing 300 pounds of man and metal, falls hard to the cold ground. His big horse, also in armor, trips and lands right on top of him. Everyone gasps. Is the king dead? Has England lost its leader in a silly game? For 2 whole hours, Henry doesn't wake up. 2 hours where the country has no king. His wife, Anne Boleyn, is pregnant and hoping for a boy. She's waiting, scared out of her mind. Those 2 hours change everything forever. When Henry finally opens his eyes, people notice something scary. His eyes, once smart and fun, look different, dark and wild. His first words aren't, "I'm okay," or, "Thanks for worrying." No, he gets mad, yelling about why they stopped the games. The fun prince who spoke 4 languages, wrote poems, made music, danced all night, and talked big ideas with smart people, that guy was gone. In his place was a mean, angry man with wild mood changes. He scared England for the next 11 years. Today, brain experts look at old stories and say Henry got a bad brain hurt in his front head part. That's the spot that controls how you act and think before you do stuff. Before the crash, Henry was patient for a king. He stayed married to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, for over 20 years before wanting out. He didn't kill many rich people like other kings did. But after that day in 1536, he started chopping heads left and right. And Boleyn lost hers just 4 months later. Even his best helper, Thomas Cromwell, got the axe soon after. The brain hurt was bad, but it was only the start. The same crash opened up an old cut on his leg that never closed again. Now the story gets really gross, like a horror movie. Most folks don't know Henry had hurt his leg before, maybe in another horse game. It healed okay, just a scar. But this big fall ripped it open wide. In those old times, with no good medicine or clean ways, an open cut could kill you slow. Imagine big sores like tennis balls on both legs. Not for a week, but for 11 long years. They leak pus all the time, never dry up. The pain is so bad that even soft sheets make you yell. A doctor named Thomas Vickery kept secret notes, hidden in a special doctor place and found in the 1960s. He wrote about bad sores that stink and hurt a lot. They drained the legs every day, sometimes twice, filling bowls with yucky stuff. Servants rushed it out so the king wouldn't see. But Henry, being proud and scared, tried to hide it all. He made special leg wraps with heavy bits to squish the cuts shut. He thought that would help, but it made blood stop flowing and the bad stuff worse. He poured on fancy smells from far places, like rose and amber, to cover the stink. He told painters to show him with strong legs in that big stance we all know from pictures. But the bad germs weren't just eating his legs, they poisoned his whole blood. Every day, bad stuff from the rotting skin went into his veins, hitting his brain, liver, and heart. Experts today say from old stories that Henry had a bone infection called osteomyelitis. It sends germs and swelling stuff all over your body. This made his life pure pain. Think of the worst tooth hurt ever, but in your legs, non-stop for over 10 years. Fevers came and went, making him sweat buckets or shake cold. He felt sick sometimes, then super hungry. But the worst was how it messed with his head. The poisons got to his brain, making him flip moods for no reason. Laughing 1 second, killing the next. He saw enemies everywhere, servants poisoning food, wives cheating, killers in shadows. By 1540, only 4 years after the crash, Henry had killed his second wife, ended his third marriage, and was looking for wife number 4. He picked young Catherine Howard, maybe 17 to his 50. It must have looked awful, a fat king who needed help to get on a horse, chasing a teen girl. She hated his touches so much she drank wine to deal with it. Wait till you hear what happened when those leg cuts got really infected. The year 1542 was when things got way worse. The sores, gross but okay before, changed bad. Dr. Vickery's notes say the pus went from yellow to green, then brown. The smell was like death walking. Henry's weight blew up. He couldn't move much because of pain, so he ate tons to forget. From 280 pounds, he hit over 350. His old armor in the Tower of London has a 48-inch waist. By 1545, new stuff needed 54 inches, that's wider than some fridges today. They changed the palace, bigger doors, you can see marks at Hampton Court, stronger floors after sagging, special chairs with removable arms because he couldn't fit. Getting him ready each day was a big show to hide how bad he was. They dressed him in bed with 4 guys lifting his big arms and legs. Ropes and swings pulled him up. Then a wheelchair, but hidden so no one saw. I've got 2 more big shocks about his death and the hide-up after, but first, subscribe if you want more on Tudor secrets historians keep quiet. Hit the bell for the wild truth on why Anne Boleyn really died. His body changing was bad, but his mind went crazy too. By 1544, people said he acted nuts. He talked to invisible folks, like arguing with his dead dad about money. He called for his mom, who died when he was 11. Worst, he saw ghosts of people he killed. He'd stop talking, go pale, stare at nothing, whisper, "No, not now," then yell at real people. The French guy there wrote about Henry screaming at an empty chair, telling Anne Boleyn's ghost to stop laughing. His fear got huge. He thought servants poisoned his leg wraps. He'd sniff the dirty cloths before burning them. He made testers try his creams on their skin first. By Christmas 1546, Henry looked like a monster. Stories say a huge guy on his throne, can't stand alone. Face twice as big, all puffy. Eyes yellow and red, sunk in gross skin. The smell. No perfume could hide it. They burned incense and threw herbs on floors. People held smell balls to their noses. Some ladies puked after seeing him. Here's a shock, his last painting, the famous one, has a secret. X-rays in 1960 showed his hand holding a cane, but first it was a staff with a skull on top. Henry carried that skull stick everywhere, tapping it, thinking about death. Rumors said the skull was from a monk he kicked out or an enemy he killed. The painter put it in true, but after death, his son Edward had it covered. He didn't want Dad remembered as a death-crazy loon. In late 1546, the court was scared stiff. They used ribbon signals, red for mad, black for sad, white for okay, rare. Henry flipped over tiny things. A sneeze meant poison, stepping on his robe meant banish and take land. Scary, he ordered kills on dead people, forgetting he did it before. At a big dinner in November 1546, the French guy said Henry stood up, hard, with help, hurting bad, and yelled at empty air, "You dare come here, witch?" He thought it was N's ghost. "I took your head once, I'll do it again." Then he sat and ate like normal. January 1547, Whitehall Palace, Henry's last drop. What comes next is so bad, they hid records for ages. His leg sores were huge, bones showing, black edges from dead skin. Doctor notes, found in 1891, say wounds deep as hell. Smell knocked out servants changing sheets. Windows open in cold winter because stink filled rooms fast. His skin yellow from bad liver, eyes too, looking not human. Tongue big, speech like bubbles. Breath like dead meat, germs in his gut. His weight made care hard, 6 men to flip him, but sores grew anyway. Legs split open, leaking clear stuff through bandages. On January 20th, his body started failing all over. Kidneys quit from poisons, pee dark and smelly if any. Belly swelled huge, hurting more. In clear times, he knew death came. Begged doctors for cure, promised riches. When no, he threatened kill, but too weak to sign. In crazy times, he yelled for mom to fight demons under bed. Talked to dead brother Arthur, sorry for taking throne and wife. Called for first wife Catherine, begging forgive, though she died alone years back. The court lied big, said king has small sick, resting. But behind, leaders like Edward Seymour planned for new king, knowing days left. On January 27th, big stroke hit. Face drooped, drool everywhere, speech gone. The king who changed religion with words couldn't ask for drink. But with one good hand, he tried signing kill orders, last for Duke of Norfolk, old friend. Scribble saved the Duke when Henry died next day. Now the hidden part, Henry didn't die quiet like books say. He screamed. Archbishop Cranmer's diary, found 1983, tells it. Called for last prayers at midnight January 27th, found Henry shaking hard, 6 men hold him. Bed broke from force. He puked black stuff, gut bleeding. Smell made Cranmer puke twice. Henry saw invisible kids, lost babies, begged forgive, promised better dad. Then scared yells about fire only he saw. Near 2 a.m. January 28th, breathing wet and bad, lungs full. Cranmer asked Squeeze hand if trust Jesus. Henry did weak, then gone at 2:07 a.m. But horror kept going. Body rotted fast, germs sped up. Swelled more, smell worse. Leaders hid death 3 days, not just politics, corpse too gross for show. Embalmers came, but inside was mess, liver mush, heart big in yellow water, guts black. One guy fainted from stomach stink. They stuffed 100-pound salt and herbs, wrapped in wax cloth with tar, sealed in huge lead box. But gas is built. During wait at palace, coffin made noises, bulged. Covered with cloth. To Windsor February 14th, coffin half-ton, 8 horses, 3 days slow. Night 2 at Old Abbey Henry closed, coffin burst like thunder. Fluids out, guards ran from smell. Morning, dogs licked king's leaks, the divine king, food for strays. Workers cleaned with dust and lime, faces covered. Resealed quick. Buried fast at Windsor, no big show. Seymour ordered quiet or die. Official, peaceful death, nice burial. Truth hid till diaries and foreign notes came out. So Henry VIII, wife killer, church breaker, died rotting, screaming, corpse exploding, dogs eating bits. From handsome prince to decay monster, alone. If this hooked you, check my next On Ends Real Death, French Spy Twist. Subscribe for more hidden truths. See you soon.